least get a leader in there that's going to try to help the church, save it from its own destruction. And so the next pope has got a big job. He's going to have to bring in, I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to have to bring in female priests. And he'll do it. If he doesn't do it, the church will die. The church will just it'll disappear. It'll be sold off. The property will be sold off. I mean, in a way, the church that existed 100 years ago doesn't even exist anymore. The buildings are even gone in a lot of cases. The liturgy's different. The practice is different. So it's evolved to a different thing. And that's how it's going to continue. It's going to gradually change from one thing to another. So in effect, if you were to go back and, come from the past and come to now, like say, travel from 1900 and come to now, you would say there's no church. That's what you would say. Say, where's it at? It's gone. I went into a building that looks familiar, sort of, but they have different people in there. They have different liturgy. They have everything's different. It's not anything like the church. And I know that's true because I've been in both liturgies. I've practiced in both liturgies. They even have a different calendar in the new church, and they had to do that. It was necessary to do. At first I thought maybe the evil was just starting to come into the church, but no, it's the evil was just starting to leave. And how do people discern that? I guess we gotta be open to God. We gotta open up, and it might take a whole lifetime to go through that transition, and that took me most of a life to figure it out. I think a lot of Catholics are waking up. A lot of them are doing like I did, they're just leaving. And some of them are just going along with the changes. And some of them a few are staying with the old stuff, not very many. And I think some of them are just leaving the church. They're realizing, oh, geez, this is not even anywhere near what it should be. This is a false religion. And some of them are just not practicing anything. Which is not really, it's probably better than staying with the old stuff. But it's not good, then you don't have anything to rely on. But no, we're not protected. But I do believe Hinduism is. But we still have to use our own discernment to pick out of Hinduism what we want. But there's a lot there that we can pick from. And in general, the gurus are teaching good things. Generally speaking, Hinduism is it's a true religion. I'm sure there's a few sects in there that are probably really way off, but they're small minorities. And then there's probably a few small sects in there that are really got it good, that have a perfect thing. And then there's the main religion, the majority religion, which is pretty good. It's generally a success. It's generally good, and it has a good influence on society and on people. Might be a few things they have a little off, but it's better than most, other religions. And it's recorded and it's written down, and you can look up what they believe, and you can get an idea of what it's supposed to be on paper. Some of the native religions, I don't know if you can do that. You can't just look it up. It's not recorded. And So some of that, they're either going to have to start writing this stuff down, or they might lose it. They could lose the religion. Someone needs to come in and preserve their songs, and they need to preserve their language and their culture, because their religion's going to be intertwined in that. It's going to be in there. And anything that's been handed down, if they can get it written down somehow in a language that's going to be around in the future. And yeah, there's a lot of languages that are going to go extinct, and they need to put this stuff in books or something and save it. Hinduism is pretty well preserved, and Buddhism is well preserved. Christianity, I think there's books, they just need to find them. They need to find them and realize that they're the original books. So I think that they could probably save Christianity, but they need to find out where it is. They need to realize, oh, this is the original religion. And they need to go out, find it, they need to publish it, republish it, teach it, get people to practice it, and start teaching people from when they're young. Okay, here's what God gave us back in 2,000 years ago or more. It'll be more than 2,000 years by then. That this man came and he taught all these wonderful things. Basically, what he was teaching us is the same thing that the gurus taught in India. All these people, there's more than one prophet. They all taught the same thing. They just keep coming back and having to reteach it because we lose it. Okay, alternate. And they're just teaching the same stuff in maybe a different culture, different language. But there's going to be a common thread through all this stuff. It's when you get new things, that's when a red flag should come up, and the new things are heaven and hell. Saying that we only have all the truth, that's something new. That's a cult. That's someone trying to take control. Now we're going into a period in Earth's history where people can inherently see that there's something wrong with it, and they're shying away from it. They're saying, no, I think I'll buy that. They'd rather not go to church at all than to go somewhere that's teaching that, or they don't want cults anymore. They want spirituality. They don't want church, they want spirituality. They want to be taught spiritual things, not to follow a leader. That way, if the leader dies, you're not left lost, because the leader will eventually die. 2 right lanes, okay, we're fine. In Hinduism, if your leader dies, you might be sad that you lost your leader, but you're not going to be left with nothing, because you have the body of Hindu scriptures, and you have all the culture, and you can pick another guru if you want. Whereas in Christianity, they have a thing you follow, but it's more of the same error. And you're basically an orphan. You're a religious, spiritual orphan. And you're following something that man created. And when that is found to be false, you are now left with no religion. And that's what atheism is. That's what communism is. The people fell away from the church, and they figured, oh, communism declares us all equal and everything, so they joined communism. Because they realized that the church wasn't really as great as they thought. And communism left them empty too. Turned them into slaves, just like the church did.